Hey guys, welcome to my review of Batman issue number 12. In the last issue of Batman, we had the whole entire closure to the whole Court of Owls storyline, and now we're beginning anew. But in this issue, we don't really strictly follow Batman as much. We follow one character that was introduced to us in Batman issue number 1 and Batman issue number 7. Her name is Harper Row, and she was the girl that actually sort of saved Batman's life by helping him jumpstart his heart a little bit after, his fight with the Talon, and he was almost near death, and Harper actually saved his life. Now, back in that issue, it seemed like Batman and Harper actually had a history with one another. Like, they seemed like they knew each other. And Scott Snyder said he was going to explain to us who this character is and what her relationship with Batman is, and herself to Gotham City. And in this issue, we follow her storyline. We follow her character, and we learn more about her. And that's really interesting about her character. I really like her character. So let's start off with my summary of this issue. So we open with Harper Row in the sewers of Gotham City, and we learn that she basically works on the power grid under Gotham City, trying to restore power or electricity around the city or different parts around the city. And we also learn that she lives in a rundown neighborhood called the Narrow, and this is like really like a big bad slum where like all the bad criminals or just bad people hang around, and she lives there with her brother Cullen. And yeah, so we open up with her underneath Gotham sewers working on power grid, and she's talking about several words that can change your life. But before she can mention these several words, she jumps back 7 weeks into the past, and we learn that she's getting ready for a formal kind of party. So she's going to a formal party, which is actually hosted by Bruce Wayne. And this is actually back in Batman issue number 1 when he was hosting a party to show how he was going to renovate Gotham City. And Narrow Row, or the Narrow, is actually one of the places Bruce is planning to renovate and make anew and make a better place. And of course, we all know Harper actually lives here. Now, we see her actually scrounging around the party, stealing food like cakes and, brownies, and Alfred comes along and tries to tell her, like, what are you doing? Like, he doesn't say, like, what are you doing? You can't take those. He actually plays along and actually lets her get away with it, which is nice of Alfred to do. I actually am glad Alfred did that. He's a nice person. I love Alfred. But yeah, and then we see Harper go back home, and we find out that basically Cullen, her brother, is being picked on. This is her younger brother, and he's being picked on by, some jerks that live in the Narrow, these like stupid assholes, and they basically wreck the house and beat him up, kicking him and punching him, and then, they change his hairstyle, like, her sister, Harper, actually changes her hairstyle with Cullen, and when they were heading back home from school, they decide to actually, Harper decides to, get revenge on these people because, they actually start picking a fight with them again, starts picking on them, and then Harper takes out a taser and tases one of them, and then a whole group of, of these guys starts ganging up on Harper and her brother until Batman comes along and basically beats the living hell out of them and tells them to stay away from Harper and her brother. Stay away from these people, I will hurt you again. And that's a really great thing for Batman to do because, of course, Harper says, nobody would ever set foot in the Narrows and actually try to change it, because we all know every rich person thinks they can change people's lives or make a new or make some bad place into a better place. But I doubt it, and of course, Bruce Wayne's Batman. He's set foot all over Gotham City, and she's even mentioned he doesn't even know Gotham. He's just a rich playboy philanthropist just sitting there, in his Wayne Tower. He doesn't care about us. Like, he knows Gotham City, but he's Batman, and he does care for his people. So afterwards, Harper gets this fixation and obsession over Batman. I mean, who can't get obsessed over Batman? He is awesome. And she just gets so obsessed over him that she finds these bat boxes all over the grid where she works underneath the sewers that actually basically helps Batman take out security cameras for a few seconds if he's around that location, so no one can catch a glimpse of him or the cops can't find him. And generally, that's all I'm going to talk about, but really, I like this issue. Though it had nothing to do with Batman, almost nearly nothing to do with Batman, we were just following this one character, Harper, and we were introduced to her like in issue number 1 or issue number 7 of Batman. It wasn't a lot, but I'm glad Scott Snyder, basically made a whole backstory for her. Like, they actually make her into a character that actually is well developed enough to actually be her potential own character that could help Batman in some ways. Like, she does show potential that she could help Batman. And that's what I like about this issue, is that, for a character that only appeared 1 or 2 times in this whole main series of Batman, Scott Snyder makes her into a really good character, gives her really like in-depth feel to her. It's really great how he does that. Like, that's why I like Scott Snyder as a writer, because he makes everything really well in-depth, and his characters, they make them like really important, and they make him like, he makes them really stand out. That's what I like about Scott Snyder. He makes his character stand out, and Harper, she's an amazing character. I liked her. I like her sassy attitude. I like her fixation for Batman, because I mean, who doesn't like Batman, like I said? But all in all, this issue was great. It's really heavily dialogue driven. Of course, we had to, create a character here, so there's a lot of dialogue to be said and a lot of monologuing, but it's really interesting. Like, we learned that also she doesn't have a father, that her father is abusive and whatever, so yeah, we learned that she comes from a bad background, but she wants to do good and she wants to help Batman. And I really like that. I just really generally like that. Also, what I like about this is the references they make to previous Batman comics. Now, I don't know if you guys would actually notice these references, but I did because I'm a big Batman fan. So here's one reference they talk about when Harper is getting ready for the party, for Bruce Wayne's party. There's actually a limo sitting outside waiting for her. And we all know she lives in a bad neighborhood called the Narrows. And basically her brother says, you should get into the limo before someone steals the car rims and runs away with it. Stealing the car rims, is that a reference to Jason Todd stealing the Batmobile wheels? Interesting thing there. I found that interesting. I was like, for a guy who, he really, like, I think Scott Snyder really likes Batman. He just throws like little teases here and there and stuff like that. And also, for the matter of fact, that her brother actually tells Harper, you should look pretty for Tim Drake. But why Tim Drake? Why not Dick Grayson? Because Dick Grayson is pretty, he's pretty charming. I think he's the most charming one out of the Batmans. Or not out of the Batmans, but out of the Robins. I think, Dick Grayson is the best. He's like the most charming one out of all of them. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt being the new Batman, I call him Dick Grayson. He's really handsome, okay? I have to tell you that. Okay, as a guy from a standpoint, I find Joseph Gordon-Levitt pretty attractive. But upon saying that, when, her brother says, you should go after Tim Drake, I was wondering, why not Dick Grayson? Like I said, why not Dick Grayson? Why Tim Drake? Are you referencing her to being spoiler? Are you saying that? I mean, she doesn't have to be spoiler, but for him to say, oh, you should go after Tim Drake, I was like, that really brought back Stephanie Brown, and, basically, I'm like, this girl does so much in this issue, and I'm not kidding you, this girl does a lot in this issue, that potentially, like I said, she has the potential to help Batman in a lot of ways, and I'm wondering, sitting here wondering, after reading this issue, could this character be a bigger character in this series? Could she play a bigger role? Can she actually be her own standalone hero or her own character, like Oracle or something like that? I would be interesting. I would be like glad to see her become a part of the Bat family. I would like Stephanie Brown back, but when they teased that, oh, you should go after Tim Drake, it just reminded me of Stephanie Brown in a way. But yeah, in all, this issue was fantastic. I really do like Scott Snyder as a writer, and this really outshines. Like, this is just a standalone issue. This is not going to continue you know, over to another issue. Maybe they will talk about Harper later on, but this is just an introduction to her. And we're starting a new storyline in the next issue that has to deal with the Joker coming back in issue number 13. But later on in issue number 0, we're going to learn the history of Batman and how he first came to Gotham City and start, you know, becoming Batman. So we're going to learn more about that. And I can't wait because, like I said, Scott Snyder, as a standalone writer, he can write a good story, but he wrote this single issue. This is just a single issue about one character that maybe possibly no one would ever care about. But he made this character into a character that I felt really enjoyable to read. And I really felt, not connected to her, but I really cared about her as a character and I want to see more of her. That's what I like about Scott Snyder. He can make one simple, bland story into a really great story. And like he just goes in depth. Like that's why I just keep talking about it. But all in all, really great. Also, a note to mention, we have a new artist. In the I forgot how you pronounce the last artist's name, the artist for the Batman series. His name is Greg. I forgot his last name is Greg, but he, you know, he draws Batman for Scott Snyder, and it's great. I love his art in Batman. It's awesome. But we have a new artist only for this issue. Her name is Becky Cullen, and I have to say, she is fantastic. She is an amazing artist. I love her art. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm going to show you a preview of her art right here. Like, the art is not on the cover, actually. The cover is actually done by the original artist, Greg. So, as you can see, this is the Batman art. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a scanner, so I can't scan these for you, so I'm just going to have to show you like this. I would still like to show you guys because, you know, I want you to see and preview how it actually looks like. They actually did a blog or interview about, you know, the artist Becky, and I really, really like her art style. For some reason, whenever I look at Harper, she reminds me of Ramona Flowers for some apparent reason, like her hairstyle, her sassy attitude. Like, I don't know if you can see clear, but that's her hairstyle. She has like a blue stream on her forehead. Or bang, that's just like a blue stream, and her hairstyle is like really spiky, and like the way they make the art, like her art reminds me of anime style. Because look at her eyes, or is this Harper or Becky's eyes? Not Harper, but Harper and Cullen's eye. This is someone with pop out eyes, and I'm like, that just reminds me of manga or anime. Like she has a sort of anime cutesy feel to her art style, which I find is actually really awesome, actually. I mean, for some people it might be a turnoff because of the fact that, you know, her characters look kind of cute in a way and stuff like that, but you know how people are like, oh, but Batman's a dark character, you shouldn't have such cutesy artwork. But I think it's actually pretty good. I actually enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy her artwork too, and I would actually love to see her do more art. And actually, to mention, she's the first girl to actually draw for a mainstream Batman comic book. Not Batgirl, not Nightwing, for a mainstream, really big hero, Batman. She's the first girl artist to actually ever do this. For now, you know, for the New 52. And that's really great for her. I think this is a really great start for Becky, and I'm hoping to see her more, or more of her art, because she's wonderful. And I actually read the blog about her, and it seems like she really enjoys it, and she really takes her job seriously. It's not like she just fucks around with her artwork like some people do. Like sometimes artwork can look really crappy and ugly, but I do love Becky's artwork. It's really amazing and fantastic. I love her work. I'm glad she did the art for this issue because she herself felt connected to Harper, and that's what I like about when people who do comic books or people who write things or make anime or animations, cartoons, whatever, they always feel connected to the character they draw or the character they are working with, you know, and that's what I like about it. But yeah, this is standalone, really great issue, great story, introduction to Harper. Scott Snyder is an awesome writer, Becky's a good artist, but later on, maybe near the end of the issue, the art does change, which was kind of a bad transition for me, because I was really enjoying Becky's artwork. Not saying the artwork near the end was that bad, but still, I really liked Becky's artwork. But yes, the art's amazing, story's amazing, 5 out of 5 for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and found it really helpful, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, so see you guys.